Boy, Mikel Arteta wants Arsenal to sign two forwards in the summer transfer window in a bid to get the Gunners over the line in the title race. Now, if we could get Gyökeres and Liam Delap or Ollie Watkins, two forwards, you've got, the options of Kai Havertz and Marino. You've obviously got Bukayo Saka, you've got Wanyeri. I don't know for Trossard's and Martinelli's futures necessarily because it feels like someone needs to go. You've got them informal chipping in some capacity. We're doing all right. Like, obviously, we've scored 100 goals in all comps. We're into the second semi-final of the season, and we're doing all of this despite a recognized number 9. But let's stop beating around the bush. Clearly, the priority has to be a number 9. That is an evident area that takes us up a level. Of course, central midfield and on the left. I'll be amazed if we get two strikers. Admittedly, I don't know if you get someone like Ollie Watkins, 29 years of age, help us it for a couple of years, or you get like a Gyökeres and a Sesko / Liam Delap, who Ipswich have been relegated, and it's known that he's got 30 million release clause, and you develop him of such, or you get two out and out decent forwards, like, I don't know, a Gyökeres or Vlahovic, which we've been linked with. I will watch this one closely, but if Berta and Arteta think we need two forwards, I'm with that. Allegedly, Christopher Nkunku is expected to leave Chelsea this summer. Arsenal and Bayern Munich were both interested in the player in January and are expected to return in the summer, with other clubs also in the race. Now, it's easy to link everyone with everyone. I don't doubt there must have been some sort of inquiry in January. We've done business with Chelsea before. We needed attacking players. Maybe there was capacity to do a loan. Now, Nkunku is having a troubled time at Chelsea. It was a very hyped signing. They signed him early, and then he signed later on in the window. Well, I think they confirmed him in January, and he joined in the summer. Hasn't, for whatever reason, you'd have to ask a Chelsea fan. He's not one of the first 8 names on the team sheet. He's not adaptable now. He's not one of the first names in the team sheet. Although he's adaptable, Enzo Maresca hasn't found a role for him. He can play up front, play in the 10, play off the left, play off the right. As for what is his out-and-out position, you'd have to, whatever. But maybe this celebration in a red kit and with a red balloon might be coming to the Emirates, people. According to RMC, journalist Fabrice Hawkins has said that him and Nkunku and Chelsea are at a point of no return, and that's been reached, and Nkunku is almost guaranteed to force for a move in the upcoming window. I mean, you're 27 years of age at this moment in time. Obviously, you've got a World Cup to think about, and there's a lot of competition for places all over the French team, much like the attack. You'd imagine Doué is a shoe-in if he continues this as well. We've also been linked with Bayern. Were hot on his trail in January, but they ultimately balked at Chelsea's whopping 70 million euros asking price. The Bavarians are likely to return for Nkunku in the summer, but they also could be a surprise suitor. Arsenal are interested. Hawkins somewhat unexpectedly states that Arsenal also held an interest in the France international in January, having identified him as a potential reinforcement given their attacking injuries, in which obviously, what with Berta coming in and maybe a change of course, I don't know. I don't quite believe this. And so far at Chelsea, he's been hit with a lot of injuries. You never know. A new club, there could be new luck, but I don't know. It's also well known Man United inquired about Nkunku in the winter, but links with Arsenal have been few and far between. So this is a surprising revelation. Arsenal are keen to bolster their front line, and Hawkins claims, like Bayern, the Gunners are expected to return to the fray this summer for Nkunku. Arsenal signed several players, as we know, from Chelsea in recent seasons, namely Jorginho and Havertz, but a move for Nkunku would come as a shock. In Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko, the North London Giants seem to have much more convincing and attacking targets. Smash the like button and let me know your thoughts on that, people. Let's discuss it. Let me know. Would you take Nkunku? Do you think it's a no-no? Do you just want to stay clear of Chelsea players? I don't know. The Sun are reporting that Conde has emerged as a potential defensive target for Arsenal. His versatility has massive appeal to Mikel Arteta, who is ready to make a 55 million offer if he senses a deal is possible. However, pricing him out of Catalonia might be difficult. I just think Kunde's always been linked with us. Obviously, right-sided, right-back, can play centre-half. It makes sense, but I just don't see us spending 55 odd million quid on him and his wages. But we are linked with Hodgson of Bournemouth, people. DiMarzio is saying Burton knows Nico Williams well and tried to get him to Atletico Madrid. Chelsea tried to get him last summer. Maresca will come back with him. We'll come back to him with Chelsea. Arsenal will try to get him to. It's the right moment for him to try a Champions League challenge, hopefully. But that's the same man that said Arsenal wasn't getting Declan Rice. And unless there's a new Declan Rice, I'm pretty sure Declan Rice scored 2 goals against Real Madrid. But yeah, earlier this week as well, Ornstein on our interest in Hodgson. It is strong and they remain in contention. They're among the clubs who have met his reps, with Mikel Arteta and Berta keen to sign him. Whether or not Arsenal win the race is unclear because it is still open, and I'm not aware of a front runner between them, Chelsea and Liverpool, to date. Previously, I think Kivior exiting Arsenal is highly possible. That might be less certain following his rise to prominence. Obviously, he's been getting football. Either way, Hodgson would play a lot of football at Arsenal, and it would allow us to rest a Gabriel or Saliba owing to fatigue. Some people were putting Saliba's mistakes down to probably being tired. maybe for him, it's probably the lowest of the 3 seasons that he's played for us. Maybe there's a bit of mental fatigue, and also players get in and out of form. So it'd be nice to have a centre half option that, if you're not better than Saliba, there's no drop off, and we've got real confidence. Big up Kiviu, he's doing very well, but it's very different, God forbid, if we had to use him for 20, 25, 30 of the 38 games. Now, this doesn't mean he will opt for them. There are pros and cons to each of the suitors, all of whom are ready to pay the release clause. Heinsohn and Bournemouth want it sorted sooner rather than later. I mean, no player really says no to Real Madrid. They've got a bunch of defensive targets. Van Dijk and Konate is one of the best centre-half pairings in the world. Of course, Van Dijk has signed a new deal, but he's not going to be there forever. Arsenal have Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. Magalhaes is injured at the moment, but linked with Saudi. Saliba is obviously linked with Real Madrid. We could obviously put our best foot forward in that regards. But you'd imagine also like Van Dijk and Konate, that's one of the best centre-half pairings. And if they sign new deals, which is what we want, are you going to get ahead of them? Now, whatever step you make, you're going to have competition. But it just seems like Chelsea are going to get good money. They do have a good project when they get it right. Obviously, you're young, like a couple of their players. You look at Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea, who are you more likely to start at this current moment in time? It probably is Chelsea. It's probably Levi Colwill and someone else. And give or take between Levi Colwill, Fofana, Banashile, you probably back yourself as a centre-half if you're linked with a move to Chelsea to get regular football. The Sun also says Arsenal still expect Martin Zubimendi to choose North London instead of Real Madrid, having been convinced by the project at the club by Mikel Arteta. Arteta wanted Zubimendi to join immediately in the winter window, only for Real Sociedad to demand he remain for the rest of the season. I'm tired of hearing about Zubimendi. Do you think we'll sign him? Do you believe the hijack rumour talks, people, especially because Xabi Alonso's being linked with Real Madrid as well? We have heard Thomas Partey via David Ornstein is in talks to sign a new deal, and he's open to all options, but he's keen to probably sign a 2-year deal or a year with another year, and him and his family are happy in London, and we need to keep Partey. I don't know if it means Partey becoming a squad player, because I don't think Partey is one of those like plug and play players like with Saka. Obviously Saka's rehab was great. You can take him out of the team and you put him back in and he's back to business. Partey seems like, for me, he's a momentum kind of guy. Like, he gets a run of form, like even last season where he missed the majority of the season, but he became fit. He was getting little minutes here and there. And when it was the running, that's when he played on a regular basis. So I'm keen to see midfield. I've said I need a striker. I need a left winger. Central midfield and having greater centre mid options is something we need. So we have the ability to potentially rest Partey or Declan Rice or cope with what we face against PSG, and that, Partey suspended, Jorginho's injured. Do you play Lewis Skelly in midfield? Do you put Zinchenko in there? Do you put Marino's Marino as well? So you get the point. If we haven't learned any lessons this season, it's you need depth. There's a lot of games. Injuries can strike at any moment, whether it's injuries, players' form going up and down. There's a variety of reasons as to why we need a bigger squad. Allegedly, Manchester City are considering a bid to sign Doué. He was also wanted by Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United. He's valued at 100 million euros. Baby Neymar, I can't lie, I think he's worth it. You got no need to leave PSG at this moment in time. You're a key player. You're having you're getting into it. Surely, if you're going to leave, you leave after next year's World Cup. If we are linked with Doué, we've been linked with Doué and Wirtz. I'm on all of that, people. We're always linked with Vlahovic. It's a daily do-san kind of thing at this moment in time. Apologies, people. Can you still hear me? I hope you can. Yes, you can. I just got an alert. Juventus will sell Dusan Vlahovic this summer, with both Arsenal and Bayern Munich interested in the striker. Why are Bayern interested? Aston Villa, who have went out against Crystal Palace in the FA Cup, big up you lot, that was part of the watch along. Make sure you join me for Nottingham Forest versus Man City. Are preparing to receive offers for Ollie Watkins this summer, with Chelsea joining Manchester United, Arsenal, and Liverpool in expressing an interest in the forward. Now, Gyökeres has been linked with Real Madrid. Apparently, he's requested talks with Real Madrid, according to a report in Spain. Arsenal allegedly were believed to be the front runners for his signature. We know we're looking at, this has only said one striker. We know Kai Havertz and Jesus scoring goals isn't necessarily their strong point. We know we've been linked with Benjamin Sesko, which was viewed as a kind of a shoe on. Allegedly, with Berta coming in, that's changed things. We also know Gyökeres, there's plenty of interest. Everyone and their nan wants him. Chelsea and Man United have been dropped here, and Real Madrid. Do you need to go to Real Madrid? I mean, you're going to be second fiddle. It's Real Madrid. And to be fair, there probably is scope for an out-and-out number 9. I know they've got Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, this one, but there probably is scope at Real Madrid for an out-and-out number 9. Allegedly, he is reportedly eager to secure a move to the Bernabeu ahead of the 2025-26 campaign. Now, imagine if Zubimendi actually is hijacked by Real Madrid. Gyökeres goes to Real Madrid. Both of them, Zubimendi and Gyökeres, and Nico Williams stays at Bilbao. I say these three, just humor me, people. These are 3 players that Arsenal allegedly want. We actually cannot confirm that. But if they're not there, Berta, Mikel Arteta, Arsenal, we need to be able to pivot. Like what we said with Zubamendi, we expect him to sign, but until I's are dotted, T's are crossed, people are holding shirts. Bob is your uncle, really. Anything can happen. Allegedly, Arsenal have open talks with Valencia defender Yarak Gazarowski, who is a young Spain international, reminds me of Puyol, maybe in looks, and ironically plays in defense. Apparently, we're set to challenge Real Madrid for him. We've been linked with him before, as well as obviously the Bournemouth centre half. He has signed a new deal, people, till 2027. So maybe next summer is where we're looking at. We know we need defenders. It's easy to link us with one. He's been an unused substitute in each of Valencia's last 10 La Liga games. However, he remains extremely highly rated by several clubs in Europe, including Arsenal. And we know what we need to do in the summer. We're still linked with Garcia of Espanyol, who allegedly, people, is wanted by Man United now, and apparently they might flog Onana to Saudi. I mean, even the Saudis are going to look at that and boy, it's dark in it. But Man United fans probably hoping. But we know we've been linked with Garcia, Zubamendi, Nico Williams, and Gyökeres. Napalm looks like he's going to Aston Villa, so Arsenal and City are going to miss out on such. Mikel Arteta reveals Ben White and Mikel Merino injury latest. What have you said that isn't new? They couldn't be involved. If not, they would have been. Unfortunately, after the game against Ipswich, we had some issues. They're not fit. We'll have to wait and see. They weren't able to be in the squad today. Maybe it's mind games from the manager, but God knows. And even more silly rumors, people. I mean, would you take these players? And do you think this is true? But allegedly, as per reports in Spain, Rodrigo, Eduardo Camavinga, and Arda Güler are all of interest to Arsenal, who are determined to strengthen several areas of their squad. According to Capology, the trio's combined wages are 495k. I wonder what that would be individually. Obviously, Rodrigo probably earns the most. Camavinga second. Arda Güler probably, by footballer standards and Real Madrid player standards, probably earns a modest salary. So what's that? Vlahovic links, Camavinga links, Arda Güler links, Rodrigo links, Nkunku links, the young centre-back links, the Bournemouth centre-back links, Gyökeres, Watkins. Well, we might win everything if all of this happens.